I got fired, yo. I got fired, guys.
As you all know by now, the fight between Jaron Ennis and Teofimo Lopez is not happening. But Teofimo Lopez has some pretty interesting things to say about Jaron Ennis and his father, Bozy Ennis, since this thing isn't happening. It's your boy, Mr. 926, a.k.a. Bushido the Dragon, a.k.a. the Black Mage, a.k.a. just do this all day, the two-time Demontage champion of the world.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man.
Check it out, man. We talked about it. Teofimo Lopez getting fired from Turkey. Turkey don't want to deal with Teofimo all of a sudden, right? But I saw a meme that kind of lit up a light bulb in my brain. Turkey got rid of Teofimo for the stuff that he's doing that, led him to say maturity is realizing that you don't have to respond to everything, something like that, right? But when he was on here on his racist rant and all this stuff, he didn't get rid of Teofimo then, right? Like, he didn't fire him then. Nobody really fired Teo then, right? Whatever the case, Teofimo Lopez came out and had some things to say about Jaron and Bozy Ennis. Check it out.
Boots, if you're on here and your father's on here, Bozy, listen to me. You bozos. How you claim yourself from Philly and you don't want to fight the best? Man, y'all putting Philly down and Philly just won. Shout out to Philadelphia Eagles for winning the chip. Come on, bro. I don't think you from Philly. Any questions? Yeah, no Boots fight then. No Boots fight. They said no.
After hearing what he had to say, he called Bozy the Bozo. He said, Jaron Bozo Ennis. He called y'all some bozos. Now they can just kind of move on and just ignore this, right? Go up to 54, if that's what they're gonna do. Go up to 154 pounds, and start campaigning there, and just totally forget about Teofimo Lopez, because really this hurts Teofimo more than actually putting hands on them and getting them paid, because really that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to talk themselves into a payday, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But this actually hurts a guy like Teofimo Lopez a lot more by not fighting him, giving him what he wants. Really, now he's being disrespectful. First it was high praise for Boots, though, right? Before T.O. was calling Boots out, this is what I told you guys. Teofimo was a piece of shit. He was high praise for Boots. Back when Boots was pressing Crawford for a fight. Remember that? Teofimo was, yeah. And now all of a sudden he's a bozo. He's all this stuff, right? I'm not sure what Boots' stance is on this fight, this situation. I'm pretty sure a lot of people aren't happy, though. Eddie Hearn probably isn't too happy about it. Turkey Al-Sheikh probably isn't too happy about it. I think they mentioned something that Turkey wasn't pleased about the outcome of that fight not happening, right? So, I don't know, man. Jaron Ennis, though, the way this looks to me, Mr. Catch a Body and all that stuff, I'm not sure what it is, bro. I understand that Teofimo Lopez don't deserve a fight. What Jaron Ennis been at the weight long. He don't really want to entertain any fights at 47 unless it's a world title fight. I understand all that, but at the same time, some boxing fans don't give a shit about none of that. And luckily for Boots, nobody really messed with T.O. like that except for the racist fans. So, those guys are going to be on the internet saying that Boots is a duck, and then they're going to add the fact that he didn't fight Virgil either. Well, he ducked Virgil too. So, yeah, he's going to... I mean, the mystique of Boots just got shattered. Even though that's probably not what this is, the aura that he once had, if it already wasn't getting shattered from the fights that he's been having, especially the ones with Kukuchan, it has completely been shattered now with this last blow from T.O., right? The whole situation with Virgil probably cracked it a lot more. Teofimo went and pretty much shattered the shit. Now he don't have that same aura as this boogeyman, Mr. Catch a Body, big boxing puncher, all this other stuff, right? He just don't really have that same mystique anymore. I don't know. Like I told you guys, I think Team Ennis needs a good PR person. Part of me still wants to see Teo get his ass whooped, though, right? So Teofimo is actually doing his job. He's doing the right things because I still want to see his ass beat. But I'm trying to hold strong because I still understand the plan long term. Like, look, man, this dude is just really just talking himself into a fight. He really don't stand a chance with Jaron Ennis, but he was talking himself into a payday because it's getting real ugly out here. I say, why don't you try to fight Ryan or somebody like that? Why don't you try to fight Rolly or somebody like that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, how about you do that? Instead of leave the black fighters alone, man, since we monkeys and all this other stuff. Leave the black people alone then, and then you go ahead and do your thing, dog. You know what I'm saying? How about that? But on the other hand, it looks like Jaron Ennis don't be wanting no smoke like he wanted for real. On the other hand, it looked like Jaron Ennis was just like pump faking. It makes you question too. And I like Boots, so let's not get it twisted. But it also makes you question, did he really want to fight Crawford for real? I mean, we discussed that on many fronts before. We discussed that. And I came to the conclusion that he didn't really want to smoke for real. You know what I'm saying? Bud wasn't going to be chasing Boots. You know what I'm saying? Bud is at the point of his career where he's looking for the most meaningful, lucrative fights. And rightfully so, he's almost 40 years old. But Jaron Ennis, I can't say the same, bro. Like, I don't know if he really wanted to even fight Bud at this point. And now it kind of makes you question, like with this hesitation when these dudes really want to fight him, this hesitation that display, I don't know what it is, but there's some type of hesitation. I'm not sure if it's like anxiety or whatever the case. I'm not sure what it is, but every time I talk about Boots and I think about that interview with my boy YSM when he was in the passenger seat interviewing Boots, and Boots had that look on his face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. They called you some bozos, bro. They called you some bozos, man. I don't know if y'all should spin a block on this dude, though. Because he was disrespectful, man. And he do need to get hit in his mouth, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. But then again, like, that's what, forget Teofimo. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still 50-50 on the whole thing. I want to see him get hit in the mouth, but I also don't want to see no money in his pockets. Because he's doing the most. No. I want to see him hit in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? But another part of me also don't want to see this dude get what he's really looking for, and that's a payday. Because he's a piece of shit. And he's going about things the wrong way. He's disrespecting a lot of people. He's burning a lot of bridges. And I told you guys, Teofimo Lopez was a piece of shit anyway. And he probably get a lot of those characteristics from his old man anyway. No. And he probably get a lot of those characteristics from his old man. You know what I'm saying? Be on the internet just playing victim, and, then he be on there talking shit and just trolling and doing all kinds of things, and it's really corny and cringy at the same time. It's crazy. But, yeah, all three C's. Corny, cringy, and crazy. Like, all three of them. Like, he's all three of those C's, man. His name should be CO. But, yeah, man, Teofimo Lopez called Bozy and Boots some bozos, bro. I'm not sure the details of why they didn't really take the fight. I guess we're going to find out once, YSM or somebody gets Jaron Ennis on the camera. But we go find out the details because that's what people are going to be asking. We're going to see if Jaron Ennis really going to be moving up to 154 pounds. I think that will be the logical move at this point because right now, even though Jaron Ennis is still an undefeated fighter and everything else, I think the public opinion of him, especially amongst hardcore fans, isn't really what it once was. And I think he needs to find a way to kind of get the people to believe that Boots really is going to be that guy and he's taking on all comers. Because for me right now, it don't look like Jaron Ennis is that guy that's going to be fighting everybody that's in front of him. Even though right now he's still a young champion in the sport. It's not like he conquered this class, conquered that class, been around for some time, got this belt, got that belt, unified. It's not like he did any of that. He's still a really young champion and he still got a lot to prove. So I don't know. Would Teofimo had been the fight for Boots to prove anything? No, but it would have been a big, high-profile fight. It would have been a fight for, I guess you could say bragging rights. It would have been a fight to where, it was like a grudge. Just one of those fights that's kind of needed, but nothing really significant on the line. But Jaron Ennis wasn't looking at But Jaron Boots Ennis wasn't necessarily looking at it that way. He was looking at it like you just a waste of time. But tell me what you guys think. Teofimo Lopez comes out and says that Jaron Boots Ennis is Jaron Bozo Ennis and Bozy Ennis is Bozo Ennis. Like and subscribe. Holla at your boy. Peace out.